Shalom. First and foremost, call Allah and like how about Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honor be to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who still rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and safety unto the Lord's elect scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. Pushing his word in humility and sincerity, he is commanded by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And this was just the spirit, so I felt like I had to do this video. I was watching the apostles video, and then I click onto the app X or Twitter. And the first thing at the top of the timeline is this video by Dr. Umar Johnson. And what the video involves is Dr. Umar Johnson explaining how black men, so-called black men, which is Israelite men, so-called Judite men, tribe of Judah, so-called African Americans, tribe of Benjamin, so-called Jamaicans, tribe of Levi, so-called Haitians. The reason why you're seeing a lot of so-called white women with black men. Now, I'm going to push, you see how on YouTube, I'm going to rewind this video about 10, 15 seconds. Because like I said, it was literally the last thing that they said. I click off of this app, I go immediately to X app, and what's at the top? Now, we know that YouTube and your phone listens to you and your algorithms and all of that, you know. But I'm going to charge it to the spirit, and that's why I'm doing this video. So listen what the apostle's about to say. I just went back about 40 seconds.
What is the real kryptonite? It's black women.
Hold up.
You're an Israelite. It's just like a superhero that loses his power and he gets his power back. Well, his power is who he is, his identity. Because that's our power. So we're waking up back to it, like they showed you in the movie Hancock. Now what was his kryptonite? The white woman.
Oh, yep.
You know?
Yep.
But guess what? What is the real kryptonite? It's black women. That's the real kryptonite. Look, you can get you an Edomite, man. Just don't tell nobody. You know? Don't let her tell us that you got an Edomite. If she's decent.
She might be a J.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Hope that you get a J. Look for, if you see an Irish chick, that she got that flavor, like Pink, that's an Israelite right there. Pink is an Israelite. You sing of Pink, she an Israelite, man. I said, man, I looked up her I forget her name. I think you said what her name was. I don't know if you said it. I think her name was Pink, something like that. Do me a favor. Go to Google and put in the singer Pink.
Okay.
I want to get her real name. Somebody said that her name was Moore.
The singer Pink.
You gotta go to the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I want to get her real name.
All right. It says Alicia Beth Moore Hart.
Moore Hart. Moore. The Moors.
Yep.
Her last name is Moore Hart. So she goes back to the Moors. So I did I checked her bio, and it said that she's from Philadelphia, and it went into the Irish that came from Ireland.
So that's pretty much the point, you know. And they spoke about the real kryptonite is the black woman, you know. It was a joke, you know. But they were just talking about, like they said, the relationship between the Israelite man and the women of the different nations. And they was talking about the so-called white woman and the so-called black woman. Then the first video on my timeline is this.
A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sister see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire, and the sister say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to, stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
And you see, so-called black woman won't even let you finish your statement before they trying to, rebuttal. You know, she disagree. Well, you probably disagree because you probably fit the characteristics. You know, but he said that basically, Edomite women or the so-called Edomite-looking women will be more inclined to meet you where you at, and basically, just deal with you, you know. And so-called black women got all of these different rules, regulations, laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, she got all these quotas and checklists, and you know, you get a like when you get hired at a job, you get so many tardies, you get so many you get so many tardies, you get so many call offs, and then once you reach your point limit, you're fired. Fuck. But that ain't how it was supposed to, that ain't how it was in the beginning. The woman belonged to the man. Okay? The woman belonged to a man. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession. Let me go there. This is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, and the Apocrypha, chapter 36 and verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So he that getteth a wife getteth a possession. That's ownership, one's own. Let me see. Possession. It says act of holding, occupying, or owning. A taking possession occupation. Thing possessed. That which is possessed. Material or landed property. In plural, goods, lands, or rights. So possessions could be lands, which the woman is known as land because the man plants his seed in her. So once a man conquers that land or plants his seed in that land, then he now owns that land. Okay, and if a woman has sex outside of that union, then that's the act of adultery. This is why Yahweh Shah said that we are a wicked and adulterous generation. Okay, grew up as Gentiles in the flesh, not knowing about the fact that we are Israelites. Committing adultery, committing spiritual adultery and physical adultery. It says fact of having and holding what is possessed, demonic possession, seizing possession. So, I just found it to be the spirit. Like I said, I was watching the apostles' video, and the very last thing they said was about, how in the movie Hancock, which that movie shows you that Hancock had that spiritual power. He had that spiritual power, but like they said, the closer that he was to that woman that he had fell in love with, the weaker he got. And he was willing to sacrifice his power to be with that woman. And the scriptures speak about how the woman is the glory of the man, but we're not, in this life, the elect will not do such a thing. They will not diminish their power for a woman. Okay? The closer he was to that white woman, like I said, his power was diminished. Okay, that was the movie, and he fell in love, so deeply in love with her, that he was willing to relinquish his spiritual power, just to be an earthly man and to be with that woman, because the woman is the glory of the man. But like I said, the elect will not take it. The elect ain't going. The elect is not going for nothing. They will be far away from the woman if that means that their spiritual power will increase. Apostle Paul said it'd be good for a man that he touched not a woman, because the Apostle Paul didn't deal with a woman. He said, nevertheless, if you can't contain yourself, then get a woman. But he said, if you don't got a woman, don't look for a woman, and if you got a woman, don't look to be loose from the woman. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Let's see. The woman is the glory of the man. Verse 7. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High. But the woman is the glory of the man. So in that movie, his mind, the scriptures say wine and women. You see, and that was, that movie Hancock was spiritual, man. Because remember, Hancock was an alcoholic. That was his thing, wine and women. That was his downfall. Sirach 19 and 2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. Right, so brothers got to be mindful of that. You know, when brothers want to take that load off, and the wine, you know, how often are you trying to take the load off with the wine? You know, speaking to myself first and foremost. You know, because wine and women make men of understanding to fall away. Sirach 19 and 2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away. Hancock was an alcoholic in the movie. I remember. He always had the bottle. He was portrayed as like a bum. The Israelite man is downtrodden, but there's spiritual power within us. People wonder why Esau pull up with why is it protocol for you to pull up with 6 cops for one so-called black man, 7 cops, 10 cops for 2 so-called black men. Why is that protocol? Because we're connected to a power source. And they don't know when the power is going to activate and who the power is going to activate with. But we know who it's going to activate with. It says in Sirach 19 and 2, wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. Which impudent, let's look that up. Impudent, without shame, shameless, not opposite of. Ashamed, modest. So from in, which is not, and pudence, which is ashamed or modest. So basically you'll be like a shameless, you know, you won't have no discretion. You know, if you cleave to harlots, you're constantly dealing with harlots. But wine and women will make men of understanding, because you're gonna meet a harlot. If you meet a harlot, you also meet in wine. Okay? Wine and harlots go hand in hand. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. So this man in the movie Hancock, he would, like I said, he was willing to relinquish his spiritual power for that woman. Let's type in Hancock movie plot. It say Hancock. Hancock is an American superhero film directed by Peter Bird, based on a screenplay by Vince Gilligan and V. Vincent Go, or No. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know if the G is silent or the N is silent. I don't know. It said the film stars Will Smith as John Hancock, an amnesiac, alcoholic, reckless superhero trying to remember his past. Come on, man. You telling me Esau don't know our history? I was just telling my sons today that the movie Lion King is talking about Israel, man. It's talking about Israel being in the when Hakuna Matata, Timon and Pumbaa getting Simba to eat the food of the pigs and the food of the meerkats. You know, he not doing what a lion would do. They even shaved off his claws. They shaved down his claws to make him less aggressive and effeminate. So Esau, no, you can't make a movie without the Bible. These high level elites, they know who we are, and they put subliminal messages in these movies and in the plots of the movies, because the best movie is the Bible. And so that's why they, like I said, they get a lot of concepts from the scriptures. It say John Hancock, an amnesiac, which means unable to sleep, get good sleep, because we are worn out. It said that he would wear out the saints of the Most High. Alcoholic, reckless superhero trying to remember his past. The Lord said that he would therefore bring us into remembrance, put us in remembrance. This is I know it's in Peter. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. So the Heavenly Father is stirring up our pure minds by way of remembrance. Remembrance of what? Who we are. Let's go to the book of Jude. The fact that we're Hebrew Israelites. We were in the Hebrew Israelites were in a dead state pursuant to Ezekiel the 37th chapter. But now they're becoming alive. It's Jude chapter 1 and verse 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, which was us, and that's the part that we have to remember, afterward destroyed them that believed not. It was always about faith. It was always about faith. I mean, of course, it was definitely about the law during the first covenant too, but faith was there. Pursuant to Matthew 23 and 23. And that's the weightier matters of the law: mercy, judgment, and faith. So Hancock was trying to remember his past. Simba was trying to remember his past. You know, these movies, like I said, they know. It says the film also stars Charlize Theron. I think that's the Edomite chick that he fell in love with. Yeah, Charlize Theron. Now here's the plot. I ain't gonna read that. You know, it's not important. But, you know, I just, like I said, it was the spirit because I was watching the apostles and they was going into that. Then I immediately flipped to the next app, and that was the first video at the top, you know. And the Israelite man, the reason why the Israelite man is now dealing with the so-called white woman and the women of the other nations is because the Israelite man is coming back into power. He's coming back into his rightful place as the top male specimen on the planet Earth. Okay, therefore, he has the pick of the litter, especially the ones that's successful, quote unquote successful, you know, in this world. You know, they're going to get that. They're going to get that because they're quote unquote successful in this world, and they're an Israelite man, which, like I said, is the top specimen of man on the earth, but is being taught. You know, we're teaching that. You know, we're teaching that we're above all people pursuant to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6. We're better, more skilled, stronger, faster, wiser than all people, more attractive than all people. So that's now being, you know, recognized. You know, we're no longer in chains, physical chains. You know, we're allowed to buy clothes. You know, we're allowed to buy material things. So now the playing field looks, to the carnal women, the playing field looks even. So they're going to pick the Israelite man before any other man. And if they stick with their race, they definitely fantasize about being with the Israelite man. Now, the thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which shall be is that which shall be done. So when the kings rule, the kings are going to have the pick of the litter. That's what a king, that's how kings roll. Kings have princesses, and they have more than one. That's why it's the word princesses. Genesis chapter 6 verse 1, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. So the sons of God being who? The lineage of Adam, which is Adam, which is the lineage that we come from as Israelites. We're those sons of God. You know, the elect, those sons of God, the lineage of Adam, the sons of God, which became the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the Israelites. Okay, so we, even in the book of Genesis in the beginning, they saw that the daughters of men were fair. They were attracted to the daughters of men, and they got with them. When Jake went to fight the wars in Vietnam and, mainly Vietnam, I know that there was a lot of Israelite seed, and in Germany, over there in Germany, because the book Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers, it goes into it, how when the Israelite man went to war for the United States in these different countries during World War I and World War II, the women was literally waiting at the station with their drawers in their hand. You know, they was literally waiting at their station to pick one of them Israelite men off the boat. And they was specifically looking for the Israelite men. They wasn't looking for the Edomite men. And they wanted to have their children. So you got a lot of Israelites in Germany. That's why you got a camp in Holland, Germany. You got a lot of Israelites in you know, Vietnam and all of that. So the Israelite man, yeah, we've always, you know, dealt with the women of the other nations. It's not a sin to deal with the women of the other nations. Now, it is a sin to deal with the specific nation that the Lord told us not to deal with, but in the kingdom, we're going to deal with all the nations' women. Flat out. We're going to deal with all the other nations. These are the women that the Lord said not to deal with. It says here in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1, when Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy sons. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. We're not going to have to worry about that in the kingdom. We're not going to have to worry about turning away. That was the reason why, and another reason why, because the Lord told us to utterly destroy them. And then when you go to Psalms, it says that we did not utterly destroy the nations whom the Lord said to utterly destroy. We didn't utterly destroy them. That's why the purpose of him saying that was he told us to utterly destroy them. We didn't. So now these nations, remnants of these nations are here today. Okay? Remnants of these nations are here today. And the issue was that their daughters would turn the sons of Israel away from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. But in the kingdom, we're going to be perfect. We're not going to have to worry about our heart being turned away. So we're going to deal with whatever we want to deal with. Deuteronomy 7 verse 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. You see? So that's why we was told not to deal with them. Psalms 106 verse 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning, whom the Lord commanded them. Let me read that again. Psalm chapter 106, verse 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them. We just read them in Deuteronomy chapter 7. He said, don't marry them. He said, don't give your daughters unto them. He said, kill their ass. It wasn't a thing where these people gonna live with you, and once they living with you, don't marry them. No, that wasn't the plan from the jump. They wasn't ever even supposed to be around. Okay? That's why he said don't marry them, because he said the only thing you're going to do with them is you're going to kill them. It's not a sin to deal with the women of the other nation. Didn't Solomon have... Let me go here real quick. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women. What do it mean by strange? I mean outside of the nation of Israel. Outside of the 12 tribes. Moses had the Ethiopian woman. And what did the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua do to Miriam when she spoke up against Moses? And Aaron spoke up too, but Miriam was the one that got publicly punished. What did the Lord do? He gave her leprosy. He basically said, don't talk about his heathen wife. Watch your mouth. Moses is my servant. Don't matter who he deal with. He's my servant. King Solomon was the Lord's anointed, was he not? And we know who he was in the regeneration. 1 Kings 11 verse 1, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. If I'm not mistaken, it listed Hittite in Deuteronomy chapter 7. Let me go back. It might have said Hivite. Yeah, it said. No, it had said Hittite. Deuteronomy 7 verse 1. When the Lord thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, you see, that's the first nation that it listed. So King Solomon actually dealt with women of one of the nations that the Lord said not to deal with. And it could have been the women from that specific nation that turned away his heart. Could have been. Or it could have been, well, it was multiple, because he said he set up altars for the Zidonian women and for the Ammonite women and for the Moabite women. But in the kingdom, are we going to have to worry about our heart being turned away? No. The sun and the moon shall not go down upon us. 1 Kings 11 verse 2. It says, of the nations concerning which the Lord Yahweh said unto the children of Yasha'Allah, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. And he had, and that's what it was. He fell in love with them. That's why you're not supposed to fall in love with your woman. You're supposed to love your woman. But when a man is in love with a woman, that means he's willing to do anything to please that woman. And that's off. You're supposed to maintain order and structure, and she's supposed to fall within the order and the structure. 1 Kings 11 and 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord Yahweh said unto the children of Yasha'Allah, ye shall not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. He fell in love with them. They were concubines too, I might add. I have to add that in there. They were concubines, which is a secondary wife. Your main wife, well, he treated them as if they were wives, but they were supposed to remain concubines. And you definitely don't fall in love with a concubine. You don't love your concubine the way you love your wives. Your concubine is a lesser wife, a secondary wife. So you love your wives a little more than you love your concubine. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. You see? For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. He was in his old age. And his heart was not perfect with Yahweh, his power, as was the heart of David, his father. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and went not fully after Yahweh as David his father. And then it goes on to say that he built altars. Let me read it in verse 7. Then did Solomon build an high place for Shemash, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. So this was a prime example. This was set up for an example, obviously, for us to learn from. You know, that look, you don't exalt you don't exalt these women of the other nations. You know, you just deal with them. You know, you don't exalt no woman. You know, you just deal with them, and you keep Yahweh Shema Shah first, even in your old age. But that's all determined by the Lord. The Lord is the one who keeps your mind. You know, whether in your old age you could be manipulated or influenced by the people around you or not. The Lord is in control of that. You know, a good example is the elder high priest Ariah, which we believe is still a man of the Lord. You know, but he's going off. Well, the last report was that he's going off. I'm not going to say whether he's going off or not. But the last report that I heard from the elder Apostle Tahar was that he's, you know, currently teaching incorrect things. So it's up to the Lord whether he keep your mind in your age. For Solomon, and everything is done for you know, all things work together for good for those that believe. 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 8, and likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burn incense and sacrifice unto their gods. And the Lord Yahweh was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned away from the Lord power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. So he didn't say that he was angry because he dealt with the women. Let's read on. And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. Well, he did say that he went after the wives that the Lord commanded him not. But again, in the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to have to worry about this. You know, we're not going to have to worry about our mind being turned away. The Lord was trying to protect us from our flesh. Okay? He was trying to protect King Solomon from and all of the Israelites with that law in Deuteronomy chapter 7 concerning those nations that he listed. He was trying to protect Jake from being influenced by the women of those nations. Okay? But it was the will of the Heavenly Father that we will be subject to hope, that we will fail, and we will have to be hopeless for a little minute, and then the Lord will send the hope, which is his only begotten son. Romans chapter 8. I'll close with this. Romans chapter 8, verse 24. Let me see. No, Romans chapter 8 and verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. So vanity, sin. The Lord said we were made subject to sin, not willingly. Think King Solomon wanted to, King Solomon served the Lord his whole life, and then you think he wanted in his old age to go off? It was the Spirit of the Lord. Okay? We were made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. So the Lord subjected us, which sub means under, ject mean to rule. We're under the rule of hope. That's all. That's our only hope. Hope is our authority. Hope is what we trying to obtain. I mean, we have, so that we can obtain. We have hope so that we can obtain. It says in verse 21, because the creature itself also shall be delivered, which the creature is the creation, the earth, and man and the Israelite man. So it's twofold. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. So we're going to be delivered out of these corruptible bodies, and we're going to get new bodies. Okay? And see, the world is knowing this. It's a news flash going out that we are the sons of God. There's a news flash going out that we are the descendants of gods. And so the world is taking hold of that, and therefore the women of the earth is going to act accordingly. Pursuant to Isaiah 4:1, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us go with you and be called by your name. Why? Because the Lord is going to exalt the Lord's elect. He's going to exalt his humble elect. So Lord, when it's edifying, just a quick kid, call me Asherah. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call me Asherah. Shalom.